She grew up exploring Flathead's back roads, mountain trails, and hidden gems. Now she's helping others call this place home. Raised right here in West Glacier, she doesn't just know the market, she knows the Montana way of life. I am so excited to introduce you to a new team member of Radiant Realty. Up until this point, it has only been myself, and now Suzanne is joining us, and I couldn't be happier. I'm so excited for you to get to know her story. I know that a lot of you have watched mine previously and said how impactful that was and how you connect with it. So Suzanne is a third-generation Montanan, which before moving to Montana, I didn't know this was a thing. I grew up in Michigan, and nobody there ever referred to themselves as a multi-generation Michigander. But in Montana, this is a big deal. So Suzanne, can you just tell us a little bit about growing up and life in Montana?
Oh man, I tell you, it was, a blessing that I grew up here. I think being from here, you take it for granted. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful, and you don't know that till you get older and you go somewhere else and it's not as cool. But no, I was definitely being surrounded by mountains and lakes and stuff growing up was the best thing in the world for sure.
So you grew up in West Glacier. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, at the time it really wasn't well known, so it was a lot more quiet back then. Definitely being surrounded by mountains and lakes was something we took for granted. We didn't know how lucky we had it till later in life, but we pretty much had it made and we just didn't know it.
And now, were you over there, were you on acreage there, or was it just a house on a small lot?
Yeah, we had 20 acres. My parents owned 20 acres. I was the youngest of 9 children. We had
it's a house full.
Yeah, it's a lot. We did have some horses and some pigs at the time when I was little. We weren't allowed to ride the horses, but of course we still did anyway. But
you found a way.
Yeah, we found a way. But yeah, it was just the perfect, upbringing. I think. So much fun we had. It was a little bit hillbilly. We had raccoons and. We'd always rescue any wildlife we found injured along the road or somewhere. So yeah, it was fun.
Okay, so how did you come upon the raccoons?
Well, my dad is a logger, and he happened to accidentally kill the mom of these 3 little baby raccoons. Kind of a sad story. But he brought the babies home to the kids, and we raised one of the last 3 of us girls. So, and I chose the fattest male. It was the friendliest, so but yeah, it was a really cool pet. They're just like cats, so
really,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now, is there like a disease concern with that?
I'm sure there probably is.
Well, you guys weren't concerned about.
No, we weren't.
Well, you're not. I say that because you're not the first person that I've heard say they had a pet raccoon growing up.
Yeah.
In Montana.
Yeah.
So apparently.
Yeah, it's a little bit hillbilly, I guess.
So how long were you able to keep these raccoons?
We didn't keep them in a cage or anything. We let them do whatever they wanted.
Okay.
We fed them. Of course, when they were babies, we bottle fed them, and then we had a little rabbit hutch that we raised them in when they're really small, and then we just let them roam free. And then, of course, there ended up being 6 raccoons later. But they eventually just went off and did their own thing, so... Okay. Yeah. Mine was the last to leave, but...
Were you so sad?
Oh, man, I was really sad. Yeah, still am.
Did you name them?
Yes, my raccoon was Rascal.
Rascal.
Yeah.
That's probably a fitting name for a raccoon.
Yeah, and he was caught in the dumpsters at the KOA campground, which is not too far from my childhood home a few times, but yeah. But yeah, it was a great upbringing, though.
So your dad was a logger. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, he worked all the time. He was like one of the hardest working guys I've known. My mom, of course, is a stay-at-home mom, raising all of us, and just keeping up with the laundry, I think, is a chore of itself.
For 9 kids.
Yeah, for 9 kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty rough. We grew up pretty poor, and we had to really scrounge for stuff. But I think that's made me kind of who I am, and it's made me tougher and resilient. So
Yeah, for sure. It'll do that.
yeah.
Okay, so your dad was a logger, and then you were talking about your grandma and grandpa earlier and telling me how they met. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a really cool story. Well, my grandpa helped build the Going to the Sun Highway, which
Oh, wow.
yeah, if you don't know about it, it's a really well-known highway here. It's a beautiful road that they travel miles and miles to come see.
Yes, and to bike
Yeah, and to
right now.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, before it opens to cars.
Yeah. So yeah, they met. From what my dad has told me, they met. I guess my grandma was making meals for the working men. They're building the road.
Okay.
And that's kind of how they met. And they had a cabin down in the Apgar area that later my grandma had to be carried out of. So after they did a bunch of changes and stuff, that they had to carry her out. So she was just so in love with Lake McDonald and Apgar that she really didn't want to leave. So, but
Yeah, I wouldn't want to leave either.
yeah, I wouldn't either.
That's where I was. So how many years was she there in total then?
I actually don't know, to be honest.
But if they met and she was doing that, and then she basically was old age at that time, right? Where they carried her out or no?
No, she was younger then.
She was.
Yeah.
She, oh.
Yeah, and they, what I remember of them, because they're both passed away now, but they had a little house over by Lake 5.
Okay.
So that's kind of what. But she was very old-fashioned and very into her Bible. Her whole Bible had every inch and centimeter covered of every page.
Yes.
So she's very Christian and just a really neat lady. And my grandpa was just a really quiet. They're both really neat people.
Oh, that's sweet. So now you grew up here with 9 siblings. Well, 9 of you total, I guess. You probably didn't get to do a lot of exploring then. So now that you've been an adult and kind of had some of your own explorations, what are your favorite things to do here?
Oh, my favorite is hiking in the park because there really is nothing like it. I mean, the beauty
Do you
there.
have a favorite hike?
I love Sa'i Pass. It's
Okay.
probably one of my favorites.
How long is that one? I don't think I've done that one.
I believe it's like 12 miles.
Okay, that's why I haven't done
Yeah.
that. We're like a 6 mile.
Yeah, I think you can make it shorter. It depends on which route you take, but yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite hikes. And then the Pekin Pass, that's one of my favorite ones too.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty much all of them. It's beautiful in there. But yeah, and I like the kayak. I don't do a whole lot of biking anymore, but I used to. But I mean, anything outdoors, swimming, any of that stuff, I do a lot of. So,
Any hunting, fishing?
my husband is a huge hunter. He's kind of obsessive about hunting. Elk hunting around here. Yeah, hunting season, he's gone. But he is obsessed with that. I've gone with him a few times, but I'm not. I don't have my license or anything, but he's definitely the one that brings home the meat.
And then you guys have 2 dogs, right?
Yep, 2 dogs and 2 cats. Yep.
2 dogs, 2 cats. Okay. So let's bring it back around now and just talk about real estate a little bit and your journey into real estate
sure.
and why you decided to get into real estate, what you love about it.
Yeah. Well, I actually, I've been always on the back of my mind. But we had a company for a while over in Williston, and we kind of had to make a few changes and shifts, and I knew that massage therapy wasn't going to bring in the substantial amount of income that we needed to stay afloat, and I just knew I couldn't do massage therapy long term, even though I love it. I just knew I couldn't do it long term, so real estate's kind of been one of those things in the back of my mind that I thought I would always do, and especially since my husband is a general contractor and he builds homes for a living. I thought it'd be a good way to intermesh our careers a little bit.
Sure. So they say selling a home is one of the largest stressors of life. So maybe after somebody sells a home, you can give them a massage.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, if I could. It goes hand in hand. Yes.
So what do you think are the biggest misconceptions about living in Montana?
Oh man, there's so many. I mean, heard, I mean, when I've moved away a couple of times, they think we ride around on horses. We don't have any electricity. There's so many different things I've heard. Let the cows outnumber the people, which that actually is true, I think. I can't really say that's a lie. But yeah, I mean, we obviously don't ride around on horses like everywhere we go. There's a good mixture of people here. There's people that live off grid, and there's people that have luxury homes. So there's like a good combination of people, one extreme or the other.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, there is a big rodeo scene and cowboy scene here too, but that's not all that's here. So
okay, so being third generation, you were talking about kind of those little pockets of tight-knit communities here in Montana. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, my husband was a bareback rider in the rodeo for a lot of years when I met him, and that, like, the rodeo community is very close here. It's a very big thing, but you can find that really with everything. I mean, they've got so many groups. There's a lot of hiking groups and stuff like that in the area too.
Sure.
So it's really cool. You just have to search it out and know what your interests are, and there's something for everyone.
Yeah, there's always a way to get connected.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Suzanne, for sharing a bit about your life, your history.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited that you're going to be joining Radiant Realty. If you would like to connect with Suzanne, I'm going to leave her contact information in the description box below. Also, leave comments if you have thoughts, if you've owned raccoons, anything. We would love to hear about it. And also, if you have questions or other video ideas you would like to see featured, let us know. We are actually going to get out and hit the town again. I think the last time I did Eat, Stay, Shop, Play for the various cities in Flathead County was about 5 years ago already. So Suzanne is going to team up with me, and we are going to show you guys some great things here in the valley. Do give a big thumbs up. It really helps us out. Have an amazing week, and we will see you next time.